Okay, everybody, lots happening over the weekend. That is why we are going over what is trending in our beautiful world. Well, of course, over the weekend, on Saturday in particular, it was a social media crisis when all of a sudden TikTok was banned. Do you recall that? Yes. Well, on Saturday, the TikTok app went dark and people, well, they weren't happy, as I'm sure you saw everyone posting their emotions all over social media. Some people were crying and in shock. It was all very weird because the app then came back like hours later, the next day. I'm not exactly sure when mine came back. So what happened and what is the latest with this is that President Trump signed an order on Monday to delay the enforcing of a federal ban of TikTok. And he's done this for about 75 days. And as he was signing the order, he did say that the U.S. should be entitled to get half of TikTok if a deal for the app is reached. So basically, the law banning TikTok mandates that the app should be sold to a non-Chinese owner or that it would be blocked. Danny, how do you feel about this? And what were you doing when TikTok was banned?
Okay, I'm not a TikToker.
Okay.
I'm of the generation where I see the TikTok videos on Instagram like 3 weeks later and we're out of the loop with it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So for me, this didn't affect me, but I did love seeing all of the influencers freaking out. I thought it was really
They really were, right? Because it's become almost like a career for so many of these younger generations.
Right.
So yeah,
I don't know.
It was
affect me.
it was all over social media. But both my daughters were in on the whole. Oh my gosh, what's gonna happen?
Right.
Trust me, it's gonna be okay.
I'll be fine.
All right, Danny. Well, from bans to bras, one thing that did not escape the weekend wrath was an outfit, oh my gosh, worn at Trump's inauguration, which was on Monday, and a lot of us were at home watching, but this was like everywhere. Okay, so Lauren Sanchez, who is the fiance of Jeff Bezos from Amazon, she was slammed for her choice of wardrobe. Okay, let's take a look because she showed up to the ceremonial part of the inauguration wearing a white blazer with wide leg trousers. Okay, everything's fine. Yeah. But here's where people lost it. She wore a revealing white lace bra under the blazer. So there's the picture that's been causing a stir-up. And here's another close-up of it because she's worn that outfit before, which I don't think matters. But she definitely turned some heads, including Facebook founder Mark Zuckerberg's. Danny, I'm sure you...
This picture's everywhere.
This picture is everywhere with the memes, and we just had to talk about it today.
Yeah.
But the hardest comments probably came from news personality Megyn Kelly, who I happened to see on a YouTube Shorts. She went on the show publicly basically telling Lauren to have some dignity, have some respect. I thought that was a little harsh.
A little harsh.
What did you think of the outfit?
Look, okay, very
gosh.
beautiful. She's a beautiful woman, right?
She wore it well.
She wore it very well. I don't know if that's like the place for it, you know?
Right.
I'm not quite sure, but hey, we got it flaunted.
And a lot of people were like, she knew what she was doing. She's good. She got the reaction she wanted.
You think?
Inappropriate.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100% inappropriate. Not saying she didn't look great. It just wasn't the place.
Wasn't the place
for that outfit.
Yeah.
That's just
look
how
cute
I feel.
though, girl. For sure.
Yes. Okay. Well, nowadays you really don't know what's appropriate anymore because, according to TikTok, back to the TikTok, wearing too much, like a coat in the winter or specifically an expensive coat, is no longer cool. Have you heard of this, Danny? It's called coat shaming.
No, just wearing a coat in general.
Just wearing a coat in general is no longer cool. But if you make it an expensive coat, that's even worse.
Really?
Yes. Well, let me tell you, I have often asked my 16-year-old Ava, why aren't you wearing a jacket?
Right.
It is 10 degrees outside. Go back inside, put on a jacket. And she's like, no, Mom, it's going to ruin my outfit. I'm not cold. Apparently, it is no longer cool to wear a jacket, even in freezing weather. It is a trend among smaller kids and teenagers. It really drives me crazy. And it's considered coat shaming if you do wear a coat and it's an expensive one. You really can't win. No. So just, okay, parents, if you're with me on this, where your kid does not want to wear a jacket, that's why.
Okay, so I do remember being of that age and being like, no, I like my outfit. I don't want to put a jacket.
The jacket, yeah.
But being shamed for wearing it and wearing a nice jacket to me is
like a really
so
expensive.
silly.
It's so silly. It's the world of TikTok. I'm telling you.
I don't know. But it does along the lines of mewing.
mewing, the whole mewing thing. But it is true, and I'm not buying Ava any expensive coat, by the way, because she takes it off, shoves it in the locker, and never makes it home. So there you go.
There you go.
Coat shaming.
All the new things.
Like the new things. Okay, everybody. There you have it, the magnificent world of TikTok and what's been trending in these last few days. Thanks for joining me, Danny.
Oh, yeah.
I was
Love it.
interested in hearing your thoughts.